Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing a topic that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Sorry, my face looks terrible. It's really red. Okay, but besides that, I've been watching a lot of zero waste stuff lately and just have been completely obsessed with this genre of information. So I guess just because it's been very eye-opening, and now I feel like I can't look at things the same way anymore, which might sound a little heartbreaking, but it's really not. I think it's a positive direction. I just have to find ways I can implement it to my own life, and I figured I would share with you guys things that I'm considering doing, or maybe like in the future trying to change into, and then see how it goes. I can always give you guys updates later, but I just want to share that with you, and if you guys get inspired by it, then more the merrier. But I strongly encourage people to look up one channel I've been following really hardly is that sounds weird, but really heavily, I guess, is Shelbizlee. She is a eco warrior, so to speak, and she has a lot of zero waste material on her YouTube channel, so I highly recommend watching her there too, and just inspired me. I feel like there's so many things I could be doing that I haven't been doing, and maybe I could do better. So, and I feel like that's all we really can do if you think about it, is just try a little harder. So I have another video coming up on my channel that's going to be about me making a little thing to put my silverware in so I can take it to work and stuff like that. So watch that if you want to do like a DIY yourself, then you can kind of see how I made that. It's kind of a mess, so just fair game. It was like one of those I'm gonna do this in the middle of the night ideas because I saw it and it looked cool. So it wasn't a lot of planning to it, and I was trying to do it as zero waste as possible, so to speak. So going along with the lifestyle. All right, so the first thing, now this is also me doing dishes, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me make a list of things that I could be doing different that maybe I should implement once I'm done with the things I already have, or like when I need to change over, kind of like that type of thing. So one thing is, currently I do have an electric toothbrush, and the thing is, I'm really lazy. I'll send it out. I will a lot of times forget to charge it because I don't want to like leave it on the charger all the time. I don't know, it just me, I'm like, oh my god, it's wasting energy. So I'll be like, oh well, I'll unplug it, you know, thinking it'll be fine till the next charge, and then it's not. So every time I go to use it, it's not charged. So thus, the lazy person in me is like, oh, why don't I just have backup toothbrushes? Because obviously I don't want to go without brushing my teeth. So I'll have like a plastic toothbrush, like a basic cheap toothbrush available. And I know my husband does the exact same thing. So we're both lazy the same way. So we both have regular toothbrushes that are plastic, excuse me, and then we also have electric toothbrushes that are never charged. So thus being really wasteful. So the thing is, you shouldn't really throw away the toothbrush you already bought, because that's really wasteful in itself, especially if it's still good. So my goal is going to be to get rid of the plastic toothbrushes that I have, and then at that point go strictly back to the electric toothbrush, and then not buy any more plastic toothbrushes. I think that would just end the problem right there. So you're thinking, you still have to replace the head every once in a while, but I figure the amount of plastic in the head versus how many toothbrushes you have to throw away in that time frame are going to be, you know, one's going to be a little bit better choice than the other one. And I've already bought the electric toothbrush, so I feel like I should be using that. So that's my thinking there. So I don't know if anybody else has this problem. Is it just me? But whatever. But that's my idea at this point. But I also don't want to be, as I said, very wasteful and then tossing things that I already have that are perfectly fine just because I want to do better in a way. You know what I mean? So the other thing is, I was just doing the dishes, like I said, and I used that giant bottle of Cascade, and I like love the way it cleans the dishes, but at the same time I was thinking, how wasteful is that? It's just this big jug with dish soap in it. So I'm like, maybe I should go back to the little pads, like the little tabs. I think maybe that would be better for the environment, because they have ones that are a little more eco-friendly. So I do want to research into that, because then I'm not getting this big plastic jug that and the thing is, I do recycle everything, but I've been doing all this research and learning all this stuff that apparently a lot of things that are recyclable, even though we're putting them in the recycling bin, aren't actually getting recycled. Which is like, what the heck? Why am I doing that then? A large percent of that stuff, because there's not money in actually recycling it, is just still ending up somewhere else, like in a landfill or something. So it's really stressful because you're like, I'm trying to do a positive by recycling it, but it's not getting recycled. So I'm still going to obviously recycle things in the hopes that they are recycled, but the idea is to maybe put less things in the recycling to begin with, just in case it's a situation where it's not getting recycled and you're just wasting stuff. So that's kind of where that's at. Sorry, I have a list here I'm trying to go by. And I want to do some more research once the cascade's done, once I'm done with that, going in trying to figure out like what type of tabs are like okay eco-friendly wise, and then trying out some different ones and maybe ones that come in a cardboard box because that's more easily recyclable. The other thing too is right now tons of like shampoos and conditioners and all that stuff, and I feel like I've mentioned in a previous video that my goal this year has been to like work through all these products, that way I'm not wasting them. Even if I didn't like them. I know that sounds weird, but even if I didn't like it, either get rid of it or find some way to use it because it's already at my house, it's already taking up money and time and space. So that's been my goal this year, is to like literally get rid of all this stuff, just work through it until I'm done and then go purchase something else because I feel like I have too many extras of everything. So right now I can't do much as far as that's concerned because I'm trying to get rid of all this other stuff. But the goal afterward would be to maybe get some shampoo bars and conditioner bars. I've been doing a little research on this, and it sounds like that's another way because they come in a cardboard box, kind of like a bar of soap would, and at that point you would just use that to lather your hair and wash your hair. So it's a little scary because I'm used to like a pump and that whole thing, but at the same time, it is pretty wasteful that those big bottles of shampoo and conditioner and stuff like that, if they aren't being recycled. So that might be my next step, but obviously I don't want to be wasteful, so I'm going to say like 50 times in this video. So I'm going to try to get rid of all the things I already have, get those things recycled as best I can, and then at that point, go into changing the next purchase I make. So the other thing I want to try to figure out, I haven't figured out quite yet, I go weekly to get groceries, and I usually go to the Walmart grocery pickup. I love going and doing this. It's like my favorite thing ever because I hate grocery shopping, and I basically just I could if I was near one, but I drive there after work because as soon as I get off work, it's like a couple blocks away. I go drive over there, I pick up my groceries, they put it in the cart, and then I drive home. It's the best thing ever, okay? It's a free service, I love it. But the problem is they give you so many plastic bags, like an obscene amount of plastic bags. Like sometimes I will get one package of eggs in a bag. I will get one loaf of bread in a bag. And it's like, dude, you guys could use way less bags. I don't understand. I'm not sure if they don't want people to yell at them for like putting too many things in one bag or what. I get that, but like there's no need to have one bag with one lightweight item. You know what I mean? Like one box of pasta is in one bag of its own. That's silly. So I want to try to see how to get around this because I love the service. I want to keep using it, but I really don't want all the plastic bags they give me. So I want to see if maybe there's some way on the app to make a comment or call them and say, hey, don't put all my crap in plastic. Like maybe if they just didn't put anything in plastic at all, and then like just put it in the bin, and when I get there we could just put everything in my own bags. I don't know if they'll go for it. I'm hoping they will, but I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't hurt to try, would be my goal. So that's what I'm going to aim to do. I'm going to try to find some way to get the message to them, like don't put things in plastic, and then that way I can just handle things myself. So from there, which sounds like, guys, just go into the grocery store, but it's like when you're done with work and you're tired and you don't feel like going to the grocery store, I would rather have groceries than go eat out a bunch of times because I'm delaying going to get groceries, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, at least it's getting done. But at the same time, I do want to find some way to get around this whole plastic bag situation. So let me try to figure that out. I will let you guys know the update on that, but that's the next thing. I'm not getting that much groceries this week, so I probably won't have a chance to implement it, but like next week when I do go get another order of groceries, I want to see how that goes. Also, I have been cutting back on Starbucks. You guys would be proud of me. I've not been going as regularly because I did find a recipe of iced coffee, which sounds really simple and sad, but like I found one that I really like, that I can make for myself that's easy, which is the biggest thing for me. It has to be easy, it has to be quick, otherwise I won't do it. So I found one that I really can do on my own, but it does have some plastic involved, and I want to try to find some way, like maybe I have to find some way, well, the iced coffee I'm doing right now, it's kind of like iced coffee instead of a frappe or whatever, but it's basically the Starbucks unsweetened coffee, which I know I could do myself, so I need to figure that out. I want to be able to make the iced coffee part myself and put it in a pitcher instead of going and buying their version, even though I really love not having to make it. But I feel like it's not that hard and I should just do it myself because it's cheaper. So that's gonna be my new plan, is getting some like nice grounds from Starbucks or something. That way I have Starbucks type coffee, brew a pot, put it on ice, and then that way I have the iced coffee concentrate, and then I can mix it myself. That would save one big container as far as the iced coffee containers go, because they come in plastic. Now as far as the creamer goes, I'm not really sure what I can do about that. I really am using the coconut creamer from Coffee Mate, and it's like so good in this coffee, but it does come in plastic, and I don't know what to do about that exactly other than make it myself. But I feel like because it's a coconut-based creamer, it might be a little more tricky to do. So I'm gonna see if I can look up a recipe that's not complicated, and then see if I can do it. And then if I can't, then I'm just gonna have to give in on that one. You know, at least I'm getting rid of the jug of coffee, and I'm not going to Starbucks regularly, so I'm not getting plastic cups and plastic straws and things like that. So one thing I want to do better on is drinking more water, because I have been slipping lately, and I've been drinking more pop. So like, my friends and I will go out to lunch or something at work, and I'll be like, oh, let me get a pop because it's so much better. Like, it tastes so much better than water. But then at the same time, I'm like, ugh, I just got a plastic cup, a plastic fork. I mean, not a plastic fork. I got probably a plastic fork too, but I got a plastic cup. I got a plastic straw. Like, what the heck am I doing with my life? You know, it's like, I know that I shouldn't do that, but at the time it's like, oh, I don't care. So I want to get better about saying no to that, and then just keeping my water cup that I already have at work, and we get free, like, filter. We have a free water filter thing at work, so I can get plenty of water and just do that instead and just be better about that. So that's something I want to work toward, like, basically as soon as possible. Also, I did get some ideas on basically making a kit for your car, and the kit would include like stuff that if you are going out to eat, then trying to avoid getting containers. So for example, a kit would include like a silverware set that's wrapped up. It would include your own napkin. It would include a straw, like a to-go cup. It would involve a Tupperware container of some kind, like something you just have at home that you would keep in the car on you. And then if you went to a restaurant and you had like stuff that you want to take with you, you would just bring that in and be like, hey, can you put all my stuff in this reusable container? And then you would just take it home and then eat it that way, versus getting styrofoam, etc. So I need to do that. I want to find like some larger containers that aren't glass, because I feel like the glass ones are gonna be kind of heavy and I feel like it'll be burdensome for me. But I do have some other containers here. I just want to see what I have in stock already, so to speak, and then have one just in the car. So obviously you would clean it and stuff like that, but you would keep it in your car. That way, in case a situation comes up where you're like, hey, let's go out to eat, guys, and then you go out to eat and you don't have to get their to-go containers. So that would be the goal, to save as much styrofoam, plastic containers, etc. as possible. So that's that. The other idea, which is going to have to kind of go in with the Walmart idea, is basically trying to avoid plastic on produce. For example, like just a bell pepper itself, buying a single bell pepper versus a package of 2 bell peppers, because it's very stupid. Like, and I mean, I guess most of the time I do this already, but like when I was just looking at some of the stores, like when you look online, you're like, that's so dumb. Like, I don't understand. Like, a banana already has a natural wrapping on it. Why is it wrapped in a plastic bag? Like, it doesn't need to be wrapped in a plastic bag. It's got nature's covering on it. You know what I mean? So like, things at the store just don't make sense sometimes to me, and I feel like that would be something to avoid. So if I'm personally shopping for something of my own, being mindful of like, oh, hey, that's dumb. Like, don't buy it in plastic, buy it separate, and then just tack it up, you know, or like tally it up or whatever. And then, so you know, just seems silly. And then with my Walmart order, making some sort of a, well, I think when you go on there, now that I think about it, like it offers an individual versus like a package of 2. And I think if it's a situation where I ordered a single one and they substituted, for example, with a plastic styrofoamy kit, then just saying no and let them take it back. So, oh, I already mentioned this one. I mentioned it twice. What a silly person. Okay. And then the next one's composting. Right now, as far as I know, in my area, we don't have a composting thing like we did in Portland. So hey you guys, so I was working on this video, and while I'm doing the video, I've been like doing some research on some of the items so I can kind of add some more information to the video. And I found out that there's an article in the Columbian saying that Vancouver, Washington will start a composting program. So I got all excited, like, yay, this is great, because I want to do the composting. So they were saying they were taking the yard waste bin. So I look, and guess what? I'm not in the area that is designated to start composting. I was like so excited. I was like, yay, that solves this problem. It's like helping me out. I already have a yard waste bin. I put my compostable stuff in there. And then to find out that they're like, you're not in the specific limit of the area that we will be covering for this. So, great. Kind of I'm trying to figure out a way I can do that myself. So basically, I think it's pretty easy. I think I would just need to get some sort of bin for all the scrap food containers and all the compostables, and then just put it in the backyard to basically compost. So that's something I want to start implementing this year too, because I've been thinking about it and I just haven't done it, and maybe doing a worm bin. So that might be something interesting too. These are things I want to research into and try myself. You know, just like little things, because I feel like that would reduce the amount of like trash that we're producing, because it's like things that could just go back into the soil, maybe even help me when I want to garden. So that would be something. And what sparked all this is I was doing the dishes and I was looking at my dish brush situation, and I was like, I have all these plastic dish brushes. So by no means don't go and toss your perfectly good dish brushes, because that's dumb. But what you want to do is like maybe on the next cycle, when you know you're going to replace these items, is look for compostable dish brushes. They make them out of like, I know sometimes they're made out of bamboo and like, I can't remember what the other fibers are, but it's like coconut or something, I don't know. It's like some sort of natural fiber that they get, and then they make it into a dish brush, so it works perfectly fine. But the thing is, when it's done, it's like life is toward the end. You can compost it and you're not making more plastic waste. So that's something I want to start doing once all my brushes are completely gone through. I'm like looking at this and I literally don't know what I wrote. Oh my gosh. This looks like make meatloaf. I don't think that's one of the items. I don't know what this says, guys. Like, this is how bad my handwriting is. Okay, well, I don't know what that says, so we're moving on from that point, because I can't remember what it is now. The other one that I was thinking about too, and I just simultaneously just cooking at home more too. I feel like that is something I've already kind of started doing, but I want to get better at, like making my lunches and stuff like that. I feel like I'm always like, guys, I never see you guys, let's go out to eat. But I need to limit that, because first off, for obviously financial reasons, you shouldn't be going out every day. Health reasons, you shouldn't be going out every day. And then also, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I have food. I could put the food in said containers and take it to work, and it doesn't make sense to get all those plastic containers. So really need to stop that. So that's going to be a big thing this year. I've kind of already, like over the last week or so, been trying to get better about it. Like I'm like pushing myself to like make my lunch before I go to bed and have everything ready, because I'm not a morning person. And then that way in the morning I'm like boop, 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 and then I'm done. You know, I just leave the house. So I need to get better about that. I am attempting to do that. But that thing is bugging me. I really want to know what it says. I don't know. I can't remember. And then another thing too is I've already kind of been doing this year too, but I've been watching a lot of like documentaries about clothing waste as well, and it's been kind of stressing me out, to be honest. I'm like, I didn't know these things. Like, the more you know, it's like kind of boggles your mind about how much things get wasted, because I donate stuff to like Goodwill all the time, and apparently if things don't get sold and they go to the outlet and then they don't get sold there, then it's basically either it goes to Africa as a way for that, they sell it to Africa, and then African people can like get it secondhand and they sell it in their own markets and stuff. But then at that point, if it doesn't get sold there, and this isn't always, but a percentage of it happens that way, then it goes to a landfill. And like, it was so shocking watching how much stuff was in a landfill. It was insanity. So I kept thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, if I go buy a piece of clothing, like, it's just because I wanted it and I was like, cute, 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 and then I bought it and I didn't think any more about it, and then what if it didn't work out and I kept it anyway, or I just gave it to Goodwill because I'm like, oh, whatever, I didn't like it. But you don't think like that's gonna add up to garbage somewhere else. Like, eventually it's gonna end up as garbage. So it just makes more sense to not buy stuff that you don't need the first time. So I've been trying to be a little bit better about that this year. Like, I haven't bought as many clothes as I normally do. Like, makeup, I can't make any rules about. Like, I bought a lot of makeup this year that I probably didn't need, but I feel like I could be doing better. So it's just like some goals for me this year. I really want to focus on that, even though it's like half the year is already done. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to do like a little update on the year and think about things you could be doing better and stuff like that. So oh, I remember what I wrote now. Okay, so the cleaner I use right now is like my favorite cleaner on earth. It's the Method I think it's Lime Margarita scent. It's so good. It's so good. But I'm almost out and I'm like, I need to go get another bottle. But I was thinking, is there a way for me to get a reusable? I don't know if they come in like refills, or there's some way I want to get around with buying a whole new bottle, like when there's a perfectly good bottle at my house. Or should I make a DIY cleaner but then try to make it smell the same? I don't know. I'm trying to do some research about what I can do to maybe make like, because vinegar and water, I was doing that for a while, and guys, it's an amazing cleaner. Like, those two things together are bomb. Like, the only negative is, gosh, the smell is awful. It smells so terrible. But I mean, when you clean a window, sparkling. When you clean anything, streak free, beautiful. And it's like, it's such a good natural cleaner, and it's so dirt cheap to make. But at the same time, I'm like, but it smells so terrible. Like, I hate it so much. And before I was putting a little bit of orange and like kind of lemon smell in it to kind of mask it, a little essential oil. But I'm thinking if I can maybe find a way to make that same lime smell that I love in the same type of cleaner, then I wouldn't have to go buy the Method cleaner. Because I mean, the Method cleaner works pretty similarly actually to the vinegar and the water mixture, but it's not super expensive either. It's like $3.50 or something, so it's not ridiculous. But it's the fact that you're basically taking in getting one bottle, and then you run through it really quick, and you have to buy another one and another one and another one. So I want to find some way to get around that, either by finding some sort of large refillable container for the one bottle I have, or finding some way to dupe it. So stay tuned. That's what I was trying to write there, and I was like, make meatloaf? What? That's not even on the agenda. What's going on? But make Method cleaner is what I was trying to write. But yeah, so because I love it so much, it's like my favorite cleaning product ever. So if I can't, then I'll just have to accept it, I guess. But if I can make it better, let's try for that. So I don't know if these ideas were helpful to you guys or not, but it's just something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I've been kind of obsessing about like watching these zero waste videos. And it, like, I don't think I'll ever be like the person that has all the stuff in the jar or whatever, you know, like this is my year of things in a jar. I don't think I'm gonna get to that point in my life. I don't think I'm there, but at the same time, if there's any way that I could like make less waste, I don't feel like that's a bad idea. So let me know what you guys think, and if you guys were inspired by this, or maybe even considered doing the things I'm talking about, or like maybe got some ideas, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe if you'd like. And I've got hopefully more videos coming. I'm kind of slow nowadays, but I'm slowing down. I'm kind of tired lately, but I'm hoping to keep going on the bandwagon, at least get a video out a week. So, all right, bye you guys.